the body piercers. To express urban feeling at the end of the millennium, the body piercers claim the status of spokespeople. In tribal style, they're initiated through rituals where the manipulation of the body plays a key role. Some of the images in this film might disturb those of a sensitive disposition. But they're not images of pain or suffering. On the contrary, all the actions to follow are voluntary, conscious, and deeply felt. This squat in Portugal is typical of the punctured generation. Anarchy is the only rule. Live to the beat of improvised music. Love, health and freedom, autonomy, direct action and self-control. If the police have their day, we have every day to fight against every and any form of authority and exploitation. The manifesto is unsigned, but Paulo reads it as though they were his own words. As long as he can use them to rail against authority, the military, the bourgeoisie, he'll live by them till his dying day. Listen, mate, this is my anarchist garb. This stuff here, for example. If I had to wear a suit and tie one day, which I'll never do because I think a tie is symbolic of being hanged, but if I became a top executive one day, if I had to leave a normal life, I'd never get rid of this stuff. Paulo has no desire for a normal life, like a growing number of people in the Western world. This is the story of those who drop out. A common ethos brought these young people together. They moved in because they were homeless, and they believed that squatting is a powerful social weapon. Paulo arrived here 2 years ago with a wife and a paralysing debt. He'd fallen behind with the mortgage. His stab at a normal life had gone wrong. We bought the house because we needed to. We were living in a spare room. We had permanent jobs like normal people do, but it didn't work out. The mortgage went up a lot. There were too many expenses. We had cats, we had a phone, we had to pay for water, electricity. We earned about £250 a month each, and we just couldn't survive. Paulo and Paula didn't say anything to anyone. They simply packed their things, abandoned the house, and slipped away. And so they turned their backs on consumer society for good. It was their first and last attempt to live like other people. In this new house, electricity's been replaced by a candle, and tap water comes from a friendly neighbour. I'm going next door. They've been giving us water for 3 years, since people first moved in. It's because the first people that squatted here were friends of their son. From then on, they've given us water. You come in here any time you like? Yes, no problem, day or night. We just have to open the gate. She makes this trip every day, as many times as she has to. Paula prefers this daily routine to a job, the mortgage, and the monthly bills. She lives with Paulo in the kitchen. In here they eat, sleep and relax. It may not be luxury, but it's dreamy in comparison to most squats. Here at least there's gas, so they can cook hot food. But nothing is squandered. The spaghetti water doubles up as washing up water. Adaption's the key to survival for the modern tribesman. Yet brave hunting skills aren't in the lifestyle description. Come closer, you afraid of the pan? No, I'm scared of burning myself. We took over this room 2 or 3 months ago. Still needs a lot of work. This here also needs repairing. Oh, there are rats all over the place. This will be our storeroom. And we can also use the floor space. We can use this room as a storeroom with shelves. These windows will clean up nicely. It'll look good. Even without the building work done, Joanna prefers sleeping on the floor to her family home. And for Eduardo, it's a vast improvement to the park bench he was sleeping on after a row with his mother. My mother and I adore each other, but it didn't work out. She's a socialist and I'm an anarchist. She has a different way of seeing tidiness, for example. Tidying the house, times to get up, times to go to bed, times to eat, how to manage money, how to dress, how to walk. We don't agree on any of these things. The only thing we agree on is love. A mother's love and a son's love for each other. Eduardo hit independence in his teens. He's not ambitious. He labours on building sites when he needs a bit of cash. It keeps him happy. Joanna became the black sheep when she introduced her family to Eduardo. She forgot about university and told her parents she didn't care for the vices of the bourgeoisie. Now she plaits hair for a living. Eduardo taught me how to do it. I couldn't do it before. One summer we went to the Algarve and we were living off plaiting hair. But he'd get so smashed he couldn't work. It wasn't right because we were plaiting with another couple and they had to do all the work. So I had to learn fast to give them our share of the money. At £5 each plait, they make enough money to buy food. It's not much, but it's the essentials. My dream is to have a tattoo studio during the winter, because I've always had a talent for drawing. Joanna says, draw, make a portfolio, invest in a tattoo machine, open a little studio. That way we can live off tattoos in the winter. The primitive art of tattooing has conquered the spirit of the 90s. Paulo's friend Chico runs a tattoo studio and is proud to be alternative. If you analyse your life, and the life of other people who take tattoos or piercings seriously, you can see they've always lived life differently. They're people who've always done alternative things and who don't give a shit about what other people think or don't think. I'm sure that anyone that takes piercing and tattoos seriously doesn't give a shit about what other people think. Francisco's parents thought he'd be better off finishing art school, but he became a tattoo addict after the first prick. Two-dimensional paper and canvas was swapped with the thrill of creating living art. I'm a bit crazy about mechanics. In fact, I'm completely mad about it. This is a mechanical piece. It's got a few skulls in here. And for those who know about mechanics, there's a bit of a motorbike engine. Here's the exhaust pipe. It goes all the way around. This is a reel. This sort of a starting motor, but mixed in everywhere are skulls. It's a kind of semi-mechanical being, a semi-something. The finished tattoo will be days of work for Chico and many painful hours for Paulo. Yet the pain doesn't put him off. Through tattoos, he defines himself as someone who doesn't live the 9 to 5. For me, this is a bit of a challenge. If I can't work in a place where I can be myself, I have to make a choice. I have to choose something where I can be and work for what I am, not for the image I might give off. That's why I always choose the kind of work where I can be what I am, and dress as I want, because I think that those things also have value.